What is up, everybody? Calling all angels. It is time to continue with Wings of the Angels for the week as we preview the upcoming 8 matches in the NWSL. This one should be going up here early morning of Friday. Plenty of time for you to look across the day for how all these matches are going. And then tomorrow, we should be putting up the Angel City one to preview the match with Louisville. There's a third thing I wanted to go over. That one is probably going up Sunday. So theirs is all being done in one setup. So should be seeing a trio coming up. Been trying to get myself back to the full rotation here, and it seems like it's going well. Let's talk about today's matches. We got 3 of them. Houston Dash and Bay FC. Admittedly, not the most exciting match. Definitely not one that, if you were to introduce someone to their first match, and they're not in one of these two areas where they would be actively rooting for these teams, probably wouldn't seek it out. It's a lower tier matchup. These teams are both in the bottom 5 at the moment, but still quality teams. They've had moments of very high quality. Bay FC has looked significantly better since we came back from the break. Their offensive attacks have been significantly bolstered. Houston continues to scrap all the way to the finish. There is quite a bit to enjoy here. I will say I'm going to go with the hot hand, even though Houston definitely has the ability, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull out a win. I'm going to give Bay FC the nod here. I have liked what I've seen from them these last couple of weeks, and I'm going to give them a fairly chaotic victory. I'm going to say 3-2. All right? So, moving forward, we got Orlando versus Chicago. These are 2 teams currently not in the playoffs. Chicago is sitting very close to the bottom of the league. However, Orlando is still trying to fight their way into a playoff spot. They're only a couple points out. They're sitting in 9th. Their biggest issue has been they're racked by injury, and they have been struggling to generate enough goals to pull off a victory. I don't see that shifting too much yet. A lot of it is going to depend on the health of their offensive stars, because they don't show a lot of depth, and they become very centered around a couple players in their strategy. So that is extremely important that they get that sorted. I'm going to look at this and say I'm actually going to go on the upset here. I think this is Chicago's moment to pick up 3 points. They will figure out a second goal. They don't get more than 2 goals often. Usually they don't get more than 1, but I'm going to say they get 2. They'll have a 2-1 victory over Orlando, which will continue, unfortunately, the Pride's woes. But Stars, a nice rare pull-up in the league for themselves. The big match on Friday, which I think is the focal point for everybody, is Gotham FC versus Portland. So let's look at this in terms of what it means in the standings. Gotham is currently tied for first place. They sit in second due to goal differential. But in terms of points and matches played, they're sitting right there with Washington. So this could be an opportunity, especially since Washington's playing a somewhat challenging opponent, where they could potentially drop points on a draw. So Gotham is going to be poised to try to pick up points, but it is a cross-country trip against a team in Portland who is sitting in that top 4 as well, very much in striking distance. Portland's biggest thing has been they do have a style they're very comfortable in, and they struggle to really go too different. Because they play a little less aggressive, even though they have no shortage of people who can score, but it's always in response. And Gotham is a team that doesn't give you a lot of that. They play pretty defensive themselves. Because of that, I'm actually not sure we're going to see much out of this. I could even see this being 0-0, but I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to say both teams pull out a very well-deserved point here, but they both will ultimately have to share in the points because I don't really perceive either one having an inherent advantage. You got one who prefers the team be aggressive and the other who's really not that aggressive. So I think we're just going to see a stalemate. Moving on to Saturday, one of the less busy Saturdays, actually. It's kind of surprising. We have neither match is like the most attractive, but still got some decent talent here. We got Boston. They are playing in Rhode Island this week. Assuming Foxborough is getting prepared for NFL season, so they might not be as frequent of a guest there. But yeah, they're in. So yeah, they're going on a New England tour here as they host Kansas City. So this could mean unfriendly confines, either for KC, but for Boston, it's an area where it's not clear how deeply rooted their support is yet. This is still their first season. So I'm thinking everyone's going to be kind of off their game here, with Kansas City ultimately pulling out a victory just due to the skill gap being somewhat significant. I would say this one ends up being a 1-0 match. Nothing too impressive. It could either... I don't know whether I would lay odds that it's Temwa Chawinga getting the single goal or maybe Croy Bethune. Like, there's a lot of... There's a lot of opportunity there, but I think Kansas City is definitely getting a goal. Boston, they have looked better, but yeah, this is going to be a little bit throwing them off their game. I don't know how much it affects them. So I'm going to say they take the loss, but maybe they respond well. Maybe all of New England really is behind this team. We'll find out. Next up, we got North Carolina and Utah. This match actually is pretty deeply important for North Carolina, who is clinging to the 8th position, and Utah, who is trying to keep themselves relevant here. They are sitting at the moment in that 5-6 range, and they need to continue their victories to try to pull themselves farther. Utah's been inconsistent. North Carolina's been really inconsistent. So, in theory, anything can happen in this match. I have seen both teams play extremely well. I've seen them both play extremely poorly. I will say that I'm going to go on the frequency here. Utah seems to play a lot more consistent than North Carolina. So I'm going to give them a 3-1 win. For no other reason than I just do not have the trust in North Carolina to maintain a high performance against a team that is, truthfully, a lot stronger than they are at this moment. All right, let's get to a very Western day on Sunday. So this is basically running triple header style, 2, 4, 6. Victory Plus will be getting some, as well as ESPN running Angel City Louisville. That one, obviously, I'm going to put some focus on. I'm definitely living that one. The question will be, do I also live North Carolina, Utah, or Boston, KC? I think either one is possible, but the time range, it's just going to depend. But I think I'll be able to get one Saturday, and I'm definitely getting the Angel City one on Sunday. So a couple lives. That should be nice. So San Diego and Louisville and Seattle. San Diego's got to pull themselves back together, especially now trying to keep up with teams who are directly challenging them for that top spot. Seattle, I feel like they're going to be on an emotional low after blowing a very winnable game previously. Like, for those who are not paying attention, they had a 2-0 lead on Gotham in their building, only to give up 3 goals past the 80th minute. And I do think they're going to probably show up flat here, which is perfect for San Diego because they're slow starters anyway. I could see a goal early, and then San Diego getting their traditional late goal, and this being a 2-0 victory. I will give it to Seattle. They have skill, but there has to be something down the road here for them. Like, they're struggling with it. Washington, Denver, very important game right now for the first. This being Washington's first week as the position 1. You've got a pretty star-studded roster. You're at home. There's going to be a lot of hype, but you are facing a Denver team that does not shut down very easily. You're going to have to deal with them the entire 90, and they're skilled enough to actually score on you. I do expect the pressure to be on here a bit. I think Denver actually might get the first goal. They've had a good habit of doing that. I do think ultimately Washington comes away. I'm going to give them a 2-1 win. But Denver is going to make it closer than the experts think. And I've been very impressed with them. I don't think they'll be a playoff team this year, but they have definitely made it interesting. And it's really all you can ask for in an expansion year. And then last up, we got Angel City and Louisville. Angel City just pulled their way back into the playoff positions, moving into 7th. And they're still in striking distance of the teams directly ahead of them. And now they're hosting Louisville, the current wooden spoon holders. So let's be real here. It's Pride Night for Angel City. They've been holding off since there wasn't any games in June. They're running here against a lower level team. They've had 3 straight shutouts. This feels like an emotional letdown game. Like, they've been getting themselves up pretty well. This one, kind of there for the festivities, kind of there to bask in the crowd a little bit. Do you show up flat? I think they will, and I think Louisville is going to score first. The question is going to be, does Angel City have it in them to respond? And the good thing this time around, after a month of this, I do have confidence in the front line to generate a goal and for them to find an opportunity there in another location. So I will still give Angel City the 2-1. I'm going to talk a little more on that in their preview. But I do think they get the win here. And so that pretty much concludes our preview of the week. As I said, we got definitely one live on Sunday. If you see something come up on Saturday, I will be there probably for one match. And we'll see how everything goes. Till then, root for your teams, enjoy your matches, enjoy the fun, and as always, go Angels.